minutes. Conditions apply. The time by Sagicor Bank is...
It is now 7 o'clock right here on the Family Station. Time now for the Morning Watch.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM, Facebook, and YouTube Live. In the main watch, 5 murders too many. 5 murders too many. And in the second watch, Jamaican criminals and witchcraft protection. For our social media question, we ask, how ready or interested are we really to stymie the murder rate? How ready or interested are we really to stymie the murder rate? Share your responses on our Facebook or YouTube Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp your comments and voice notes to 876-9973-125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your comments later on the program, but first, as I quote.
All right, I quote, he said, and I quote, love as I have loved, end quote. We cannot love too much. Amy Carmichael.
Well, that's an interesting I quote. Roshane, good morning, sir. How you do?
I am doing well, Mr. Stokely.
Well, looking forward to a good program today, Roshane.
Well, I can see it's power-packed.
Yeah, well, the Lord's will be done. The main watch will be back after this break.
Amen.
Did you think it was over? Oh no! The fun continues. There's more fun to come in I Love Summer. This Saturday, July 2, Love 101 presents I Love Summer Pull-Up Stop at Evangel Temple Deliverance Center in Portmore from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then, on Saturday, July 9, it's another I Love Summer Pull-Up at Trumpet Call Ministries International in Montego Bay as we join their youth conference. I Love Summer Pull-Up, Saturday, July 2 in St. Catherine and Saturday, July 9 in Montego Bay. Don't miss a beat from the I Love Summer Tour and Pull-Up Stops. Come hang with our youth ambassador, Shivani Blair, our very own DJ Rebirth, and announcer Kim Lee on location. It's gonna be good. And it's gonna be live on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Making lemonade, making lemonade.
Next, Making Lemonade, Wednesday at 3 p.m.
In this world, you will have tribulations.
This is what I deserve. Could you just listen to me?
Just come here and come go on like I want to hear you. No fun.
Pastor, me heart.
So if you need a fall line or...
Yes, Lord, I hear you. Yes, Lord. Jessica, there is a plot.
Making lemonade, making lemonade.
Missed out on past episodes? Catch up on YouTube at Fabes Entertainment. That's Fabes Entertainment. And like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Making lemonade.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. Well, the recent murder of a mother and her 4 children in Cocoa Peace, Clarendon, be the straw that breaks the back of Jamaica's high murder rate? Or will it be the murder of the 17-year-old teen mother from Denham Town that will be that straw? Or maybe we have to experience an even more horrendous and gruesome crime or two for us to get it? What's the church's response? Looking at it from the perspective of the church this morning, we have Pastor Courtney Morrison. He's pastor of Fellowship Tabernacle, Portmore, and host of the Mailbox on Love 101 FM. We also have online Archbishop Kenneth Richards, the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Kingston. Good morning, Archbishop.
Good morning, Stokely.
Pastor Morrison.
Good morning, Stokely. Good morning, Archbishop. How are you doing?
Right.
You know, Archbishop, it's a pity that we are not actually seeing you physically this morning.
Right.
The video, because I can just imagine the look you must have on your face in relation to just what I read in the opening, because the thought of a mother and her 4 children being murdered in the way that they were, from what has been indicated in the media, and even the other incident where the teen mother was taken away from the society. These things, no matter how high the murder rate has been and all the things we've been hearing all along about murders, somehow this seems to go to a new threshold. Archbishop, from the perspective of the church, sir, it is said that persons who commit the most heinous crimes, even they sometimes have to turn to someone to talk to them for one reason or another. If it's even when you're assisting law enforcement. What are your initial comments, Archbishop? And what do you think, in your view, forget the incidents for the time being, what do you think, in your view, is causing people to commit the kinds of murders at this level? Archbishop.
Good morning to you and to your audience and to the other guests. It ultimately comes down to the lack of respect for the dignity of persons, and ultimately also disrespect for and disregard for one's own human dignity. And then I think that contributes to the way in which we treat each other, see each other, look at each other. And then there's a disconnect with respect to any kind of filial relationship, connection, kinship among us in our social engagement. One of the amazing things that can be, this particular incident was family members, the cousin of the woman was murdered, who had reached out and it was extended some assistance to him. But this is just an indication of what exists in our society. People of family, husband and wife, parents, something breaks down in their relationship, and then love, affinity, that's turned to anger and rage, and then person stops seeing another human being, and it just leads to harming, and sometimes it becomes fatal, taking the life of another. And I think the whole society would need to start looking, therefore, at the value of human life, the value of personhood. And so we need to take steps with respect to fostering, the recognition and acknowledgement of the dignity of the person, and so that we give due and high regard, to that value. And I think that can bring about some amount of change. But if we continue to do things, and pardon me for making reference to this, but if we do not recognize and not respect life along the continuum from conception to natural death, we are going to always be facing this challenge. We cannot think that only at some point along the continuum that life is valuable and have due regard for it. And then at another time, there's no regard that we should do to safeguard it, especially when life is most valuable. And so I make that connection, and I think that all of us need to start making that correct connection with respect to the regard that we should have for life from natural conception to natural death.
Your words are very timely, Archbishop, because just yesterday we looked at the overturning of the U.S. Supreme Court 1973 decision of Roe versus Wade here on the Morning Watch.
Right.
So your words are very timely, Archbishop. I'm 100% pro-life.
May I add
Pastor
to
Morrison.
Archbishop?
Pastor Morrison, I was actually about to ask you to comment, because as a pastor, you interact with persons from all walks of life. Any comments, sir?
Yes, let me firstly congratulate Archbishop Kenneth Richards, Bishop Rowan Edwards, my good friend Newton Dixon, and others who were present with Sir Henry Morgan on Sunday. I couldn't make it myself because I also sit in the capacity of the first vice president of the Portmore Ministers Fraternal. And so a call to prayer, call to, really bawl out and cry out to God on behalf of this nation is very important at this time. The value, though, that we place on life, the esteem with which we look at someone else's life, where the word of God tells us clearly in the first book of Corinthians that he has bought us with a price, that we're priceless, we're invaluable. My visit to Nigeria taught me this one thing: when they greet each other in the church, they call the other person esteemed. If we're able to respect each other in that regard, where we value the other person's life even more than we do ours, as it says in Philippians 2, it will bring about, I believe, the sort of change that should happen. Sometimes I do believe as church we're doing quite a lot, but so often I believe too the sustained effort, the actually getting out from behind the four walls of the church, the actually interfacing and interacting with persons and being more compassionate than judgmental is also lacking on our part as a Christian community. We tend to, separate ourselves instead of interacting. One of the things that Jesus did quite well was to walk with the people, talk with the people, interact with the people, to the point where he was eventually called a wine bibber and a glutton. He went to weddings. He didn't separate him and say, "Boy, the wedding are too secular," And so even, as I said, commend the work that Pastor Henry Morgan and his team is doing down there in Joytown, and all the other ministers as we continue. But let it not be a knee-jerk reaction. A gruesome murder such as this continues to have me wonder what went through the mind of this young man. Killing your own family members, chopping them, then slashing their throat is unthinkable for me. Yet we must also face the fact and the truth that there are spiritual dark forces at work as well, not just mental issues, and both can come into play. But the matter is, how do we esteem life? Do we place value on life? And a lot of our men. So I say, my condolences to the father of the children. My condolences to the parents, not just the mothers. So often we lack, and I'm a male advocate, we often lack asking, what are the men going through? in situations like this. The father who is his children, he may not have been there and have left, but it's his child. They're his children, the three, and it's rough. We need to continue to press in to see change by persons esteeming the other person's life more valuable than just, I can take it at will. We didn't give it. It's not ours to take.
There was something mentioned in the media about the father of one of the children. Obviously, he was overtaken with grief. Yes. We are up on a break already. Please stay with us, listeners. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
Shake and go with true shake. Shake and go. Grab a true shake and go. When me have to put in the work, but I'm moving slow. Grab a true shake and go. School time and not joke time. Have to study hard, brain full time. Grab a true shake and go. When we up in the gym, we have to stay healthy and fit. Grab a true shake and go. Shake and go with True Shake. Packed with 9 grams of protein, 24 key vitamins and minerals to keep you going. Grab a true shake and go.
Trying to plan a family getaway? Fix it. Always dreamed of taking a cruise? Fix it. Kitchen needs upgrading? Fix it. Fixing your financial future is easy with a Sagicor Bank Extended Term Certificate of Deposit account. Open your account today. Save for 18, 24, 30 months or up to 3 years and get guaranteed interest paid monthly or at maturity. Fix your financial future with a Sagicor Bank Extended Term Certificate of Deposit account. Sagicor Bank, in your corner, supporting you. Conditions apply.
Say thanks to Dad with a gift of unlimited from Flow. Enjoy great smartphone deals when you switch now, like a ZTE A31 for just $5,000 or a TCL 20E for just $16,900 GCT included. And both phones are loaded with 7 days of unlimited talk, YouTube, social, and data for TikTok. Plus, you get a free sunglasses. Switch at a Flow store today and keep your number available while stocks last.
Every day I get bigger, every day I get better. I'm a star and I shimmer. Watch me grow, I'm a winner, yeah. Every step that I take, oh yeah. Feeling great cause I'm learning, yeah. I'm a star and I shimmer. Watch me grow, I'm a winner, yeah. La 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 la. Watch me grow with Alacta Plus.
Help support their mental development at this important stage with a unique combination of nutrients from Alacta Plus. This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk.
Did you think it was over? Oh no! The fun continues. There's more fun to come in I Love Summer. This Saturday, July 2, Love 101 presents I Love Summer Pull-Up Stop at Evangel Temple Deliverance Center in Portmore from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then, on Saturday, July 9, it's another I Love Summer Pull-Up at Trumpet Call Ministries International in Montego Bay as we join their youth conference. I Love Summer Pull-Up, Saturday, July 2 in St. Catherine and Saturday, July 9 in Montego Bay. Don't miss a beat from the I Love Summer Tour and pull-up stops. Come hang with our youth ambassador, Shivani Blair, our very own DJ Rebirth, and announcer Kim Lee on location. It's gonna be good. And it's gonna be live on Love 101 FM, the family station.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. We are in the main watch. Our topic in this main watch is 5 murders too many. Our guests are Pastor Courtney Morrison, Pastor Fellowship Tabernacle Portmore, and host Mailbox on Love 101 FM. Our other guest, Archbishop Kenneth Richards, Roman Catholic Archbishop of Kingston. Before the break, both of you gentlemen had outlined, your thoughts and reactions in relation to some of the recent gruesome murders that we have been hearing about in the media. But to add to the discussion this morning, and I pretty much know what Archbishop will say already, but I'm not sure what Pastor Morrison will say. Archbishop, your reactions to the recent bit of news that the death penalty is being sought for accused in murder of mom and her 4 kids. And when I say that, I'm actually reading from the headline of Loop News Jamaica just 14 hours ago here. Accused in Clarendon 5 killing Rushane Barrett. I'm not sure if they misspelled his surname, leaves court. And I'll read a little bit of it, Archbishop and Pastor Morrison. The prosecution will be seeking the death penalty for Rushane Barnett. This is how they have spelled it. I don't know if it's Barnett or Barrett, who is charged with killing his cousin and her 4 young children in Clarendon last week. We know that the Catholic Church has a very firm position on the death penalty. When the average listener would have heard about any incident where persons are murdered, particularly in the way that persons were murdered in this situation here, sir, they would think that the death penalty is suitable. What is your response, Archbishop Richard?
Well, the title of our conversation this morning says too many. I'd like us to recognize that when the murder fall, it's one too many. And so this is sometimes we can overlook a kind of discrimination, because of the magnitude of this one, then a lot of attention is focused on it. But whenever a murder takes place, whenever a life has been destroyed, that is one too many. And I think that is the kind of focus that we need to have as a nation. And then now with respect to, are we going to now promote killing to prove that killing is wrong? We're just contributing to the kind of irrational approach that people have to life. The position of the church is that we have the means by which we can restrain or constrain persons who become uncontrollable in society, and we just have to make use of those resources. We also need to recognize that the most effective deterrent is to solve crime, to persons who are guilty, that we make sure that we put in place the proper procedures, legal procedures, and build a proper case to incarcerate and remove persons from the streets and from our communities that cause disruption in social and our social existence. And so I'll just go back, if one murder too many, and we must be careful because other persons are mourning the loss of their loved ones. We heard of those murders this past weekend, and those persons are hurting and in pain also. If we just give and concentrate on the fact that 5 were murdered and not recognize the single persons or the 2 that are murdered in other instances, that can also add to the trauma of other persons. And so I think that what we must promote is one murder too many. Anytime a life is destroyed. And then our state needs to recognize that we need to become more effective with respect to law enforcement, creating order, etc. And that, ultimately it doesn't make sense to kill a person to prove that killing is wrong. Of course, the state has a right to protect its citizens, and law enforcement officers, apply necessary force in the face of an aggressor. But if you capture the man, then let him go through the courts, pass judgment, justice, and incarcerate him.
The Constitution does provide for the death penalty in the relevant circumstances. So, obviously, the Constitution does allow for it, which is why the DPP could make such a request. Pastor Courtney Morrison, any reactions? Because even when one person is murdered, that is one too many, as Archbishop has said. And we have a really horrible situation or situations here. Pastor Courtney Morrison.
I listened to the reasoning of Archbishop, who says one murder is one murder too many, and as such, the state should not. I don't think he used the words. I'm going to paraphrase. Should not murder someone to prove that murder is wrong. He spoke about restraint and constraint, and therefore, as law enforcers and you, my learned friend, who sit in that rule of jurisdiction of ensuring that truth is what is seen at the end, and justice be done. I know from the first biblical recorded murder of Cain killing Abel, there's been issues with an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and what is justice and how is it done. And we have also had the complications, though, of persons being accused of murder, the evidence weighed heavily in the sense of that they were guilty, and it was proven years later that they were not, and the death penalty was given. How do you rectify such an issue, and how do the family of that innocently, falsely killed person grapple with that? And so there's a lot to be taken into consideration. I'm not expressing necessarily the views of Fellowship Tabernacle. This is my own personal belief currently. It is something that has to be thought about carefully. We have said it over and over. We didn't give life, therefore it is not within our ambit or rights to take it. Do we hold the state to that? Do we hold ourselves to that? Yet, I will state a position that I once learned. And if the person is listening, they'll know themselves. If I come into my house and I find someone raping my wife, yes, I don't know if I'm going to kneel down and pray. I might take a very large 2x4, hit them in the head, and I don't know if they'll die. But if they do, will I be tried for murder and be given the death penalty in that sense? How is it administered? How can we sit and reasonably come to a conclusion that will prove to be fair, just, and really give justice in the end is usually the question, both as church, both as state, and you, my learned friend, in the ambit of law enforcement and rule, also that of our police officers. It is a tough decision.
Only because of time, I'll probably interject here quickly, Pastor Morrison, and indicate that it's not every murder in Jamaica that's classified as capital murder. Mm-hmm. And clearly in the case of, yes, his surname is in fact Barnett, Roshane Barnett. In that case, it would be classified as capital murder, for which the DPP would have been correct in seeking the death penalty, provided, of course, all the relevant conditions are deemed to have been met by the court. So
we have seen cases, though, of persons who have been given the death penalty and have proven years later not to have been the person who have committed the crime.
Totally understand. In fact, that's one of the concerns persons have with the death penalty, that it can't be reversed after the person is dead, that if they find fresh evidence or new evidence that they didn't really commit the offense, you can't, the person cannot be raised from the dead at that late stage anyway. The death penalty hasn't been applied in Jamaica for over 30 years now. And the Privy Council has set so many conditions in place for that to be done. It's really difficult. It's almost as if you have to have the worst of the worst of the worst of murders for it to be applied. But we have a couple of seconds left. 5 murders too many. Final thoughts, starting with you, Pastor Morrison, and then Archbishop. Pastor Morrison.
Final words. We have to come to the place of learning to value life. We have to teach the value of life and not just living in a virtual world, not just living where I can just push a button to block you. And in the minds of our youngsters especially, we seem to me have dropped the ball somewhere and have forgotten how to teach good family values, and especially the value of life needs to change.
And just to declare my hand, I'm in favor of the death penalty. Archbishop, any final words from you, sir?
Yes, just to restate, one murder too many. But one of the things that we need to do as a society, we need to start promoting dignity and respect for persons, creating opportunities for dispute resolution. We need to start teaching our children from early how to resolve conflict without allowing passion to override reason with respect to how to resolve difficulties and conflicts that we may be confronted with. And I hope that as we reflect on the past year with respect to this ongoing pandemic in our midst, where the lack of respect for life and our persons are just snuffed out so easily for one reason or another. I mean, families doing it. I mean, cases earlier this year.
I have to leave it there, Archbishop and Pastor Morrison, only because of time, never enough time in the morning watch. I want to thank Archbishop Kenneth Richards and Pastor Courtney Morrison for being with us in this first watch. Listeners, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
A JN Bank personal unsecured loan can help you tackle your goals with monthly payments as low as $19,999 per million. Conditions apply. The time by JN Bank is
7:31 right here on the family station, Love 101.
Our brother deals give extra love to dad this Father's Day. Buy a smartphone and get a free 7-day Prime Brother bundle. Upgrade your plan and get a gift of 100 gigabytes of data for social media streaming, music, movies, and live daily sports. Plus, even more any-use data, more SMS, and more minutes. Now that's data we can't done. Just like your love for dad. Offer valid June 15 to 30 or while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today. Digicel, made in Jamaica.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Non-communicable diseases, NCDs, are the leading cause of death and disability in Jamaica, a real public health problem. Be in the know. Reduce your and your family's risk. Information and action equal satisfaction. Go now to ncdip.moh.gov.jm to be in the know.
It's easy to follow, you see?
Need of use the BMI calculator.
The Wellness Check tool can tell you about your risk.
I understand my numbers better thanks to the NCDIP website.
Cause good health is like enough money in the bank. NCDIP website. Friendly, engaging, and empowering.
Listeners, listen up. Complete Healing Naturopathic Clinic presents another grand gospel medical missionary training. Come and learn about diseases, their cause, cure, and prevention using natural remedies. Friday, July 1st until August 14th. Health is your wealth. Let us show you how. Register now. Call 876-238-0288 or 876-790-8888. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. Let's take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. We have in a neighboring Caribbean country, and this is from the Gleaner, Guyana president denounces assassination threat as protests continue. And we have in the Observer, shots fired during event at Stats. Shots fired during event at stats. And we also take a look at Loop Caribbean News, Guyana protest. It goes on to read, President Ali claims his life has been threatened. Those and other stories in both major daily newspapers, and of course we took a look at Loop Caribbean News as well, especially in light of the claim that the president of Guyana's life has been threatened. They are our Caribbean neighbors. Coming up next, we'll read for you some of the feedback from our social media question, which is, how ready or interested are we really to stymie the murder rate? If you haven't done so yet, leave your responses in our Facebook or YouTube, Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp your comments and voice notes too. 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Did you think it was over? Oh no! The fun continues. There's more fun to come in I Love Summer. This Saturday, July 2, Love 101 presents I Love Summer Pull-Up Stop at Evangel Temple Deliverance Center in Portmore from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then, on Saturday, July 9, it's another I Love Summer Pull-Up at Trumpet Call Ministries International in Montego Bay as we join their youth conference. I Love Summer Pull-Up, Saturday, July 2 in St. Catherine and Saturday, July 9 in Montego Bay. Don't miss a beat from the I Love Summer Tour and pull-up stops. Come hang with our youth ambassador, Shivani Blair, our very own DJ Rebirth, and announcer Kim Lee on location. It's gonna be good. And it's gonna be live on Love 101 FM, the family station. They just got married and things are going smooth. Are they really going smooth though? Well, you can find out if this is truly so inside the Truly Marvelous program To Have and To Hold this and every fifth Thursday for the newlywed, where we will explore a newlywed love story, the engagement, their COVID-19 wedding, their illusion versus the reality of marriage, sharing space, and so much more. Our newlywed for this week, Thursday, June 30, is Janelle and Matthew Williams. That's the newlywed inside of the program that's designed to have and to hold marriages, and it happens this Thursday, June 30 at 5:30 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. Let's join Roshane Douglas for a look at how our Facebook and WhatsApp friends answer today's question. How ready or interested are we really to stymie the murder rate? Any comments, Roshane?
Well, I believe this one is not directly related to the question, but someone was leaving a comment. My friend, Brother Arnold, won't be able to play all of it, but let me play a little bit of it for you.
Ministers and bishops. The Bible says, if a man come into your house to destroy whatsoever in there, you must first born the strong man and before he can able to damage whatsoever in our house, whether wife or pitney. So if you as a Christian and a man come in your house to destroy you, and you use a piece of wood, and you hit him and he's dead, you would be have to God. The Lord wouldn't charge you. Because him first, you know, if you make a strong man come in your house, see that 2 ways that you bound him in the Holy Ghost, if you have that authority, if the Spirit take over. But if not, you can't make him destroy you, your house. And the next thing I would want to say, when Cain killed him brother, right, when Cain...
All right, so it's very long, so we're going to have to leave it there and turn things over to you, Mr. Stokely.
Yes, and in fact, he sounded like he was going to go on to say something very interesting, but alas, we are upon the second watch. We welcome all the comments of our various listeners. Again, not asking listeners to agree to any particular thing, or, we welcome all your various comments. We now again turn to the second watch. Now, what we seem to be hearing, or have in fact heard, and in some cases actually know, is that some persons who are carrying out crimes are turning to witchcraft for protection. Some persons might wonder whether witchcraft is real. Others know it is very real. Now, what is this all about? And does it really work for those persons who seek it? Or does it work too well for some of them who seek it? What are the consequences? Why do people turn to this in the first place? We have online today to have a very interesting discussion on this very controversial topic. Reverend and Prophet Mark Stewart, founder and bishop of the Jamaica Restoration Breakthrough Prayer Healing Deliverance Ministries, and also Bishop Grace Adigold, founder Arise Shine Apostolic and Deliverance Ministries. Reverend Prophet and Bishop, good morning to the both of you. How are you today?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm good, I'm great. It's a beautiful day for the Lord to come again.
Now, I'm going to start with you, Reverend Prophet, not because I couldn't start with Bishop Grace, but I think I speak to Bishop Grace more than I speak to Reverend Prophet. I only speak to Reverend Prophet, sir.
Right?
How common is this business of criminals turning to the dark arts, witchcraft, obeah, whichever type or form of it they turn to, or in the occult? How common is it? How pervasive is it? And why is it done? As in your experience as a pastor, and I'm not casting any aspersion in that direction at all, but how often do you come across this phenomena in your ministry?
It's very, very common, I want to say, in Jamaica. And a great percentage of our nationals, our people in this country, literally believe in obeah, believe in science, believe in Simon.
Reverend Prophet, well,
yes.
I don't know if it's my end or your end. Maybe someone can assist, but sometimes you sound a little bit off mic, or
off
a
mic.
Little,
I'm not
or
sure.
maybe there's a little disturbance. But let's continue and try. Go ahead,
okay.
Reverend Prophet.
Are you hearing me? All right. So it's very, very prevalent. It's very much something that we have to deal with, even as a church. The whole phenomenon of being covered or having to have that guard ring, that chain, that protection, something in the purse or the handbag or the wallet, is very much something that we encounter on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, there are those who not only have it, the evil with them, but also come to church to also get spiritual coverage. And we see that often. And many times I have to literally deal with it in the fact that I have to what I call de-ring. Are you hearing me? Are we good?
I was not on the live stream for a moment. Almost every time I deal with a topic like this, covering anything like witchcraft or anything highly controversial, my equipment shuts down or the internet goes off.
Oh boy.
And I actually expect it now. Continue, Reverend Prophet.
Evil at work. Are you hearing me?
I have come to expect it. Continue, Reverend Prophet.
Yeah, it is always that, because as you say that, even as we attack and seem to dismantle this network or this organization or this movement, we ourselves know that we come up under attack by just going against.
Hold that thought, Reverend Prophet. Only because we're upon a break, we come under attack. Hold that thought. We're upon a break. Listeners, stay with us. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
We try to send our children to school with a healthy lunch, right? If we knew what was in some of those foods that are high in sugar, saturated fats, and sodium, would we still give it to them? An unhealthy diet as a child can lead to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer as they get older. Octagonal warning labels on the front of food packages are 9 times more effective at identifying unhealthy foods. Give us octagonal warning labels on packaged foods. Protect our children's health. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Alliance. Where you get the money transfer. Money move like a bird, like a plane, it's a blur. Money quick, money fast, money reach in a flash. This your agent no run out of cash. Pay the rent, pay the bills or buy the grocery. Make a call for the cash and pay the school fee.
Money when and where you need it. Alliance MoneyGram Money Transfer. Convenient locations island-wide. A member of the Sagicor Group.
Tell me where you get the money transfer.
Alliance.
Prepare for the future with over 3 million in cash and prizes with Tang. From May 9th to July 30th, a chance to win monthly prizes of laptops, tablets, smart savings accounts, school supplies voucher. Grand draw on August 17th. First place $1 million. Second place $500,000. Third place $250,000. Buy any 6-pack of Tang for a chance to win. Upload receipts to tangpromotion.com. Drop in supermarkets or mail P.O. Box 2010 CSO.
Faith Claim Ministries, Somerset Road, Greenvale, Mandeville invites you to Convocation 2022. The theme, Oh, to see His Face, under the big blue and white tent on the church grounds opposite Ward Avenue off Winston Jones Highway. Keynote speakers, Bishop Arthur Grant, Bishop Terrence Gale, Sunday, July 3, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, July 4 and 5, 7 p.m. Join in on Zoom, 856-0107-7842. Psalmist Ministry from Kevin Downswell and Anointed Choirs, and live broadcast and social media coverage on Love 101 FM, Tuesday, July 5, 8 p.m. Come with your praise, participate, and leave empowered.
Exporters, importers, all stakeholders. Get the facts on Jamaica's Authorized Economic Operator, or AEO program, at the Jamaica Customs Agency's CCC online forum. Click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30, 2022, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Jamaica's AEO program, facilitating a safer and more effective supply chain, locally and globally. Log on for AEO requirements and benefits and clarify any misconceptions. So click, connect, and converse with Customs. Thursday, June 30 at 10:30 a.m. Register at jacustoms.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokely Marshall. We are in the second watch, and the topic is Jamaican criminals and witchcraft protection. Our guests in this second watch, we have Reverend Prophet Mark Stewart, Bishop of the Jamaica Restoration Breakthrough Prayer Healing Deliverance Ministries, and Bishop Grace Adigold, founder Arise Shine Apostolic and Deliverance Ministries. Reverend Prophet, before the break, you were making a comment. Would you like to finish the thought, or were you through?
It's okay. I could give Bishop Adigold the time is.
Bishop Grace Adigold, any comments? And before you do comment, I want to make reference, for example, to a news item just early this year in one of the major daily newspapers. It's not really relevant to go into the detail of it for the purpose of this discussion, because in any event, these are always allegations. But the headline is Witchcraft Candles, Gun Seized in Scamming Raid. Bishop Grace Adigold, any comments?
Well, we know that this thing is real. It is happening in Jamaica. In fact, some people think church can fix them. Some criminals think church can fix them as well. So that, I mean, in witchcraft. because I've had encounters with people, criminals, who come to me and ask me to do something for them because they don't want to be caught. There was this guy who was trying to be a drug mule some years ago to England, a drug mule. After I had led this guy to the Lord and he had, proclaimed Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and then he disappeared. Months after, he came back to ask me to fix him because he wants to go to England as a drug mule. And I said, but you turned to me. Remember, I just led you to the Lord a few months ago, and then you disappeared. Now you turn up to ask me now to cover you, to pray for you, because you don't want to be, caught, to be arrested, and you want to be a drug mule to England. I rebuked him, and I said, I'm not going to do this in the name of the Lord. You know what I stand for. He said, because he knows that if I should pray for him or something, he will not be caught. And just like some criminals will be using, we use a little Bible, just this little Bible, blue Bible that they used to distribute many years ago. I don't know if they're still doing it. They have it in their pocket. Some of them, they will use it as, it's not because they want to be Christians, but they think this is a power, like an artifact that can work magic, that can cover them so that they will not be arrested. They are doing these things. Is very real in Jamaica. God help.
We go ahead, Reverend Prophet.
Yeah, and that is part of the big problem that I find in Jamaica. We talk about organized crime. We talk about criminality at different levels. And believe it or not, this is not just the criminals. From different area of hierarchy of society, we see people involved in witchcraft for various reasons, for protection, for financial gain, for position, for power. People of high society. And in this country, there are two things. Either people go for witchcraft or they find church for coverage. And it's not necessarily that, we have a society of people who love God and want God and want God to deliver them and to save them. They need protection. And a lot of people we find coming, Bishop, they go to a deliverance service. It's difficult to lead them to Christ, but it's easy to pray for them because they need protection. They need deliverance from some evil force. And so we see a society that is embedded with a lot of evil. This case you just spoke about, we can say there must be something for somebody to get up and commit these gruesome acts. They are involved in some satanic, demonic stuff that we see, the singers, the DJs. A lot of people in our society is involved in witchcraft for protection, for rising. They want to go to the top, they involved in witchcraft. They go to the Obia man or the preacher man and they want coverage. They want coverage to do evil. I have had cases where mothers coming to me saying, man of God, my son is in a court case. I said, what did he do? They said he committed a crime. He's not guilty. I said, how you know he's not guilty? I don't know, but pray that he doesn't go to prison. I said, listen, I cannot pray that prayer. If he's guilty, he must face whatever the law of the land is. So I'm going to pray for mercy. I'm not going to pray for him to get off the case or whatever if he's guilty. I always ask that question, guilty or not guilty, because they want you to pray the person off the crime. Or they go to some evil people, spend a lot of money. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of money involved in these coverages and these things that they do. A lot of these Obia men or evil men or whoever they are making a lot of blood sacrifice. Not only blood, but human sacrifice with our children. Many of our young girls that are gone missing. We know for sure that confession has come, that some of them are being used for human sacrifice at the highest level in our country. So this thing is very serious. And so crime and violence is connected. It's from Bible days, it's a long time. Even Jesus himself, when they did not understand his calling and his ministry and the anointing that was upon him by his father, they called him a devil, a Beelzebub. People believe in witchcraft. The children of Israel suffered a lot because they turned from God, turned to this evil thing, and it ended up destroying them. That is what is destroying the fabric of our society, because many of our young generation do not believe. One lady said to me the other day, young girl about 15, 17, listen, I can't manage this church thing and this whole waiting on God and all of this thing. I believe in science. And I think I'm not going to go with the church thing right now. I'm going to go with what the university teacher, whatever. I said, my God, they're turning away from God to believe in the scientific things and the evil, the ring. That young man the other day sing about it. Me guard up. And what does it do? It draws a lot of young people attention into this guard up thing. And we see it manifesting in the crime and the violence. It must be that these men have become so heartless because they drink the blood of goat, of fowl, of pigeon, and they go and they bathe. And many of our parents, many of them instigate this thing with their children. They bring them to bath and to bathe them and to do things with them. And I'm telling you, it's something serious. And as a church, we have to rise up against it. We have to stand together and tell people that Jesus Christ is still real and the blood of Jesus still able to deliver us from all these evil in our nation. I'm telling you, it's very serious, and it is what is causing the ill effect of this nation going down because of this evil.
Bishop Grace Adigold, we have a high murder rate. We have a lot of lottery scamming and many other crimes.
Okay.
Do you think there will be any reduction in the murder rate, for example? We know the government, through the Ministry of National Security and the police force, they're doing their work. But do you think that there is any real hope for a sharp reduction in the murders?
Yes,
without a spiritual cleansing of sorts? Because if people are going to turning to witchcraft, if you don't deal with the witchcraft problem, can you really reduce the murder significantly, in your opinion?
No. It's not possible to reduce the murder rate, because even our politicians are involved in this sacrifice and so on and so forth. I wrote an article almost 2 years ago where I responded to our Minister of Sports and stuff like that, Babsy Grange, who had sent our name to England to be enlisted as one of the nations whose religion is revivalism. And so I replied to her that no, revivalism it should not be we should not be listed on that thing, because we are Christian. Jamaica is a Christian nation. That revivalism is not just a religion, it is evil. And I expounded on it.
That's right.
Somebody else called my attention around the same time to say that the Poco people, they were having some at Heroes Day, they were having some competition, singing competition, and as they were doing it, they went into their chanting, and one of them fell off and was foaming in mouth, and that our minister Babsy Grange was there, and then people were looking at this thing. They didn't know, the judges did not know at first that it was some demonic manifestation. They thought it was part of the whatever they were doing in the concert. And so they waited, and when she did not get up, then some people had to rush to her help and raise her up. And that when Babsy Grange, our minister Babsy Grange, was ready to make comment, she said that when she was growing up, she lived with her grandmother. She used to go to a church like this, and that is the exciting part. She was always waiting to see somebody falling down like that, foaming in their mouth, that it was exciting. And the person said that to me. Quickly, I said, oh my God, we have to do something about this, because our national leaders are blind to this. Now, when they are doing these things, they are doing blood sacrifice, they are doing all kinds of things, incantations, all these things invoke blood-thirsting demons into the nation.
Only reason why I'm interjecting is because I do see we're literally out of time.
Okay.
And we probably don't have time for a final comment, but essentially you're both condemning the use of witchcraft.
Yep.
Want to thank Bishop Grace Adigold and Reverend Mark Stewart for being with us in this second watch. So much more that we could have unpacked there. And we do apologize. Well, we don't know the reasons for the breakdown in the StreamYard from time to time. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we look at other topical and controversial issues, and visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook page for this and all of the Love 101 FM programs. And of course, listen to the Morning Watch by downloading our Love 101 app and stay connected to us, the family station, Love 101 FM, the number one gospel station in Jamaica. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to producer Kathy Gale and to our guests. I am Stokely Marshall, handing it back to Love in the Morning with Rushane Douglas.
Thank you, Stokely. Have a great day now. This is Love 101 FM, the family station. It is now 8 o'clock, the hour between 8 and 9.